Oh, this is Greg Allison, guys. We're having all kind of stuff going on in the world. That's breaking every way you twitch and turn. Guys, the U.S. credit rating has been downrated with more down ratings said to come. We have situation of a major flood in Beijing. It's just been hidden. There's almost nothing about it in the news, yet Beijing is just being wiped out by flooding right now, and they're covering it up. And I'll explain why in a little bit. But that also may have other ramifications because China has ingrained themselves in our systems, in our software, and with sleeper cells in America, they have the belts and suspenders and all kind of redundancy to take us down. I mean, to the ground. Should they hit Taiwan, they could take us out of action. That may be part of their plan. And with the biolabs, with the sleeper cells, with the fentanyl, which is taking out over 100,000 Americans a year. If you think we're not already at war with China, you tell me and explain to me just what is really going on and why are we ignoring that? Why are we being so quiet? Why we allowed this in? How come we're not doing something? We are in grave trouble right now. We got to take some actions. We got to get ready. We got to prepare, and we got to pray that we get through the coming day. So, guys, it's really coming fast and furious, many directions. Oh, yeah. And the Belarusians actually flew helicopters into Polish airspace, and they're putting, the Wagner's getting a little closer to the Polish border, and Polish are putting troops out there. Guys, the tensions are ratcheting it up. And on top of that, the Russians have, they've attacked and burned up another 40,000 tons of grain. They're attacking the port still in Odessa and on the Danube River too. So they're really trying to thwart any ability of Ukraine to get any grain out. Although an Israeli ship did slip through, which is mighty brave of them. But really and truly, almost no ship captains will be running in the Black Sea under the circumstances because they can't get insurance, and nobody wants to take a multi-million-dollar ship out in sea and risk losing it when there's no insurance available. It just don't happen unless they got military escorts or somebody's throwing them a lot of governmental money in to insure them when the private companies won't. I don't know, guys. Things are getting crazy. Of course, we got the Indian embargo where they're saying, well, it's not an embargo. They're just saying they're not going, whatever you call it. They're saying they're not shipping rice, which is 40% of the rice. And on top of that, the wars in Africa, where, the coup that happened in Niger. Niger's the source of 20% of the world's uranium. On top of that, most of our other uranium was coming from Russia, which we need for our nuclear power plants. Of course, I did a video a little while back, with Stephen, what's his name? Anyway, we were talking about how to use the breeder reactors, how to recycle the spent fuel rods, and how the spent fuel rod pulls. I'm so concerned if we don't do something about it, so it's going to be a huge threat to us should the grid go down. We could actually recycle that and have a couple of 100 years worth of fuel available, maybe more than that. We could have, they're like a gold mine, but nobody wants to touch them because of all the political interest and all the other vested interest, which we have to do something. So we've got a lot of grave problems in this country. If we can just stay out of war, they're all solvable by engineering and political will, if we can get the right political will in the system. But the political will is throwing the borders wide open, letting the TBD, that's one of my aerospace to be determined acronyms we use all the time in our documentation. Excuse me. Tuberculosis, TB across the borders. Now we got leprosy in Florida. Biolabs we found in Fresno, California, and God knows where else they might be. Folks, if you're not awake yet, what are you? It is time to have your eyes wide open and head on a swivel like never before. My apologies for not coming on and bringing you more lately, because I could have done a dozen videos if I could have put together the time for it. But holy smoke, guys, I am trying to get 3 years of back taxes done. And every one of these pages is chock full of receipts, and every one of these receipts I have to go through and break up and itemize and re-itemize. And this is just the pile for 1 year only. I'm 3 years behind, and I'm down to this, but I also got to work on the income side of it. That's just the receipt side, and I got to pull receipts, expenses off the internet too. GoDaddy and various other things I put a lot of money into, and internet purchases of seeds. I won't even be able to get it all. But I got to do something because I need some money back that I've been, that Uncle Sugar's taken from me the past 3 years. I'm not filed for. I'm in serious need of it right now. But anyway, that's another story. I need to get it while the getting's good. And that may be part of why China might want to move. They might want to do it while they got the wherewithal too, because it's claimed they're about to have a big economic turn down. Although I'm not in vogue with Peter Zeihan, who says they're going to cease to exist in 10 years, because he doesn't look to countries like North Korea, where they are a hermit kingdom, where they have nothing, yet they have a huge military and they develop nukes. And it all depends on the priority of the culture of the country and the leadership therein. And we know all too well that China remained under the CCP rule under Mao Zedong, even when he was having his great leap backwards and all that kind of stuff, costing the lives of tens of millions of Chinese people. And they were living under great suffering, yet they did not overthrow him. However, these floods may have a different meaning, maybe why they're covering this up. I'll go into that in a little bit, guys. So the whole world is just twisting and turning, and it may be on the verge of burning. I hope not. I'm not saying it will happen, but guys, we have never faced the kind of situations we're facing before right now in this country. We have never faced an enemy that is so intertwined into us that China has software in all the defense systems. Everything's bugged. Their software is everywhere. How in the world, if they flip the switch, will we even be able to get out I was worried about EMP. Well, shoot, they can just flip software switches, and we probably want to be able to get a EAM out, the messages we use to alert our nuclear forces to take action. We probably just be not able to do anything. We'll just be laid flat if we're not careful. They'll probably EMP us and send the sleeper cells out. And like I said, they got redundancy, all kinds of redundancy to make sure. Oh yeah, and they got, they're putting a lot of their stuff near our military bases, apparently by land. Why is that? What's this big station they're putting into Cuba? Guys, we've never faced this. Germany and Russia together times 10 was not the threat that we're seeing today. Holy smoke, World War II. And back then, World War II, America's won every war it's ever won by attrition, by outproducing the other side. Second on the South lost. That's why Ukraine will be in trouble if against the bigger Russia, if they can't win fast. And it doesn't look like anything's happening fast. So that's one reason I'm not doing a lot of reporting on the war over there, is everything's kind of locked in. It's trench warfare. There's making some advances, but they're mighty slow, mighty painful, and at great cost. They're having a huge slugfest over there, and it's ugly. But it's, the biggest problem we're having is the threats to our grain and the escalation and the slippery slope that might pull NATO in, and approaching limits that Russia might decide to pull the trigger, because they might not be able to deal with NATO otherwise. Although NATO is not in the great and wonderful, we got great weapon systems, but how long will they last in a protracted war where artillery is what really is going to matter the most in the long run? Fortunately for NATO, Russia has a hard time with logistics, given they have to move everything by rail practically. And that's probably why they've not struck into Western Ukraine as of yet. So other than missiles, but they seem to have a lot of missiles because they're getting a lot of support from Iran, from China. Now they're going to North Korea to get stuff, and possibly troops. North Korea's talked about sending troops to Russia. Now, I'm not taking sides in that conflict. I'm just pointing out the relative what's going on and how this can escalate. And in the end, what matters here to you and me and other people around the world is that it's the escalation of this thing. We don't seem to get a whole lot of say in whether or not we're over there or not at the current moment. Now, ultimately the politicians, they don't answer this the way they used to, but if you ring their bell hard enough, they'll have to listen. And so these are things we got to bear in mind. So I'm going to share some articles with you a little bit, but I wanted to kind of bring it up. Sorry I came in here so late tonight. I actually thought I heard a sound outside, so I ran around the house checking that out. And I've just been busy doing my taxes and things like that. So it's kind of threw me behind in coming in here tonight. So this is the latest we've ever came in to start out. But we have 115 in the room, so we're not doing too bad for such a late start. That's pretty amazing. All right, I just opened up the room to see who's in here. Very good, very good. A lot of folks, a lot of y'all in here chatting. So let me, hey, Mag Rising from good to see Alaska in here. Yeah, we got a lot to cover tonight. And, you know, we in this channel are family, so we'll recognize that toward the end of the video. We got a few people amongst our family we need to say a prayer or two for, but anyway, so we'll do that toward the end. But guys, we are, all right, I'm gonna share some articles. I started not to even share any articles, and I started just to talk through all this, but I'll just use this to show you that, you know, I'm not making this stuff up. So here it is, as the trade deficit hits, that's the annual trade. That's what we're about, not trade deficit. This is our budget deficit, excuse me. This is our annual budget deficit. Our national debt is jumping up towards $33 trillion. You know, and, you know, Miss Yellen's holding her hand up. Oh my God, how did this happen? Well, you know, gosh, guys, I've been saying all along, you know, you can't just keep spending endlessly without, you know, chickens coming to roost, without the cows coming home. At some point, it's going to hit you. At some point, the wheels are about to start falling off the train. And the word train. And the word is that we are going to be facing more downgrades. What does this mean for you and me? Well, for one, it means the government's going to have to spend more money to borrow money. What this says is the lenders are getting to the point that they know their money is at risk. They know it's not safe to give the federal government money. It's going to cost the government more money. Hey, we got Australian House. Very good. And, all right. So the government knows. I'm going to go through the chat room here in a little bit, guys. The government knows that they're going to have to spend more money in interest. That means a bigger part of this federal budget is going to go to paying debt on interest, which makes it harder for them to do anything else like war. Most of the federal budget doesn't go to defense, believe it or not. It goes to entitlement programs, which are said to be what the government has to spend no matter what. Yeah, well, when they don't have any money, we'll see how that goes. There might be all these checks everybody's expecting may start bouncing, or they'll just inflate everything. You might get $100,000 in your account next week, but it might be worth 2 cents. They met their obligation. Look, Uncle Shirk gave me $1 million. I might be able to go out and buy a piece of bubble gum with it. Yeah, that's where we're heading, guys. But not only that, it's been said by no less than the likes of, is this the article? No. Yeah. No less than Mr. Shark Tank here, Kevin O'Leary. He is saying that it's going to cause interest rates to go up on your credit cards. You're going to be paying more. He's saying that, you know, it's going to hit everyone hard. Like he said here, no way to sugarcoat this. It's going to be a huge impact on everyone. Car loans, house mortgage. I hope you've got a fixed rate on your mortgage. And if you're planning to buy a new house, you just might have to hang it up. Interest rates are going to go up. Hey, Chewy, how you doing? We are, yeah, Chewy's just, I think he had a little bit of a surgical procedure today. I'm doing some stuff. Hey, big worm. We like worms on my channel. If you don't like worms, get out of here. I'm a worm farmer, for Pete's sake, and an engineer. I'm a rocket guy and a worm farmer. Worm farming is the highest order. Anyway, so guys, but the economy is going to be in severe risk. That's what this boils down to. Like he says, no way to sugarcoat. There's nothing pretty about what's coming. I've been warning you guys for a long time. So you can expect all this is going to be inflationary. We've already seen prices of gas go up. Well, fuel goes and energy goes into everything. And of course, it doesn't help that we're trying to shut down all our cheaper means of getting energy right now for a climate scare. But the stuff that we're replacing it with really don't answer the mail in terms of if it is the case you're worried about carbon emissions. That's, you know, I've already illustrated that. I'll throw an article up about that again tonight, this morning, whatever time it is. Debt free on everything we have. Well, good for you, Drops. That's the way to be. You're ahead of the game. So let's go through some more of this. But a lot of people aren't, so it's going to hit a lot of people hard. I'm not debt free, unfortunately. I've try to invest in my farm instead of paying off my debts with great hopes, and some of that ain't panned out so good. Now, here's what's being hidden. Now, China has had the biggest rainfall in 140 years, severe flood. This is a Chinese CCP number here, and it's no good. Now, this is the only thing I saw in the news media about this, aside from a certain channel I'll show you in a little bit. This makes it look, oh, we just got a little puddle on the side of the levee. Well, the river might be a little high. Okay, no, that's not what happened. Beijing is being washed away, guys. The capital of China, and nobody's talking about it. You won't see it on the news. You're seeing it here. Oh yeah, let's get back to the economic side a little bit. I'll show you some more on the flood. See, China is really trying to knock down the dollar. You see this? They're even trying to get other banks to reduce or delay how much dollar buying they're doing. They're trying to crush our dollar. That's not going to help us. Now that Saudi Arabia is no longer backing the dollar as a petrodollar, that day is over. That means that the dollar share, even if it continues to be a world reserve currency, it's not going to be the world reserve currency. That in itself would seem to be a very inflationary thing. And that's one of the reasons. Actually, I went in this Goldback thing because I was concerned about CBDCs and had concerns that we would need something to trade amongst ourselves with. You need to go to the survivaltribenetwork.com and join our Survival Tribe network and start building your tribes. We need something we can have each other's backs, and then means to trade amongst each other and something that we can still transact. And that's why I've been supporting the Goldback. If you want to go with that, check out my link. I put below my more recent videos, and I will paste it later here for the link to use where I can get a little credit for this. And if you use the code, if you go to that link, use my link and use the code Green Gregs, you'll save 1% off. You don't have a lot of margin in this because, you know, they're dealing in gold, so the Defy the Grid don't have a lot of margin to work with, but 1% is still a good deal. So consider that, guys. And if you don't want to gold back, you can still buy gold coins, bullion, silver, platinum, and they got a policy, guys, that if you can find a better price somewhere else for this stuff, they will meet it or beat it. That you can't beat. So you're not going to do better going anywhere else, guys. And then these are pretty notes, guys. And the thing about these are, they're fungible. They're small amounts of gold. Each one of these is not backed by gold. They are gold. And like this is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. And if you heard Coda and my interview I did with him, he's telling us that he's trading these things for $4 a piece in the market, and you can buy them for $3 and some change. And yeah, check out the interview I did with him. It's right here on my channel. There he is. It's Coda right there. He's the guy that started Defy the Grid, and I like the name Defy the Grid because it's like Defy the Matrix, really. All right, guys, we'll go on here. Here is a channel I recommend you guys check out. These two guys here used to ride motors. They lived in China for 10 years. They used to do videos riding motorcycles all around the countryside over there. And I was watching them back in those days because they were showing inside views from China. And they got this video here. And what they're showing here is the China is more concerned about covering things up than they are fixing things. The first emergency crews they sent out vis-a-vis a bridge collapse that was washed out by the floodwaters was not to rescue people or fix things. It was to hide it from the public, their own public. The people in China don't even know about it. It's not even making the news inside of China what's going on. These guys are getting video from a lot of their friends that they've still got in China who are sending them stuff from their phones, and it's horrendous what they're getting, what they're seeing. But what they're showing is like, hey, the Chinese first priority is to hide it, it's to cover it up. So they're putting these barricades up where their own people in Beijing can't see the full extent of the damage, like bridges being washed away. So instead of going out and rescuing cars off the bridge and taking care of business, they're hiding things. That's what they do in communist country. Their main priority is image. It's got nothing to do with the substance or the people, but they want the people to think they're taken care of. Yeah, they got video in here where they show rescues of people from their teams on a helicopter, but it's all PR because like the helicopter pickup, they're saving people off this tower. They're saving their lives. But if you look down the street below, there's people standing in the street. So, you know, it's all for show, guys. So if you think that the CCP is the way of the future, if you believe that in communism, you got a rude awakening coming. It's not what it's cracked up to be. That's why everybody's trying to get out of communist countries. That's why, you know, the borders are a one-way business. Nobody's trying to get into them except for that knucklehead that went into North Korea because he was a thug and a criminal, and he was trying to escape being charged back home. And I guess he had, you know, bought the Kool-Aid that a communist country was a great place to be. Yeah, I wonder how they're treating him right now. Anyway, so Yang and Yellow River are always flooded in China. Yeah, but Beijing don't flood. Beijing don't flood, but it's flooded now. It's hit the Tiananmen Square. It's went into the Forbidden City. Let me show you some images. I'm just going to skip through here and show you some images. These are in the streets. Stuff being washed away. Yeah, look at this, guys. Here, cars just ground up. This is that's some of the water's resided apparently. Cars like they've just been through the grinder. And there's a lot of people in some of these cars that were being moved too. So this whole stuff with just 20 people, that's nothing. But look here, guys. You know what this is? This is a street sprayer that's intended to wash the streets down. They still got these, even though everything's flooded and the streets are full of water. The employees there who are supposed to drive these things are still out driving them around, spraying the streets with water when it's flooded, because that's their job. You know, so it's nothing to do with reality, functionality. It's all to do with, you know, they got to do what the party expects them to do. So they just got tons of images in here of these floods from tons of people. They got images from Tiananmen Square and all over the place, guys. So this is not a pretty picture. Now, the reason that whole cities and areas flooded out, it's horrendous what's happening right there right now. And the streets are just being, that's probably well, that might be a river, but yeah, it's pretty horrendous what's going on over there. This is a good channel to watch, guys. This is the China Show. Now, these guys each have an individual YouTube channel, but they do this program together because they spend a lot of time together in China. And so they're still continuing that tradition today. So let me stop the share for a minute. What you need to know about all that is that China's got this kind of a history, and it's almost like a superstition of a cycle of empires. And it's like when the emperor can no longer take care of you. And bear in mind, that's really what Xi Jinping is. He's Emperor Ping, Emperor Ping, Xi Jinping. He's Emperor Jinping. So kind of like Emperor Ming the Merciless, Flash Gordon. Anyway, he is merciless. Yes, that's a good one. Ming the Merciless. He is Emperor of China, more or less. And the cycle that the people believe in is that when an emperor first takes over, things improve, get better, but over time it starts to degrade and the economy starts to fall apart. You look at their housing situation, the real estate situation in China right now, the economy is down, exports are down. So they're not doing all that great. And the superstition is that when it's time to replace the empire, the Tiananmen Square area, that's actually means Heaven's Gate to the Chinese. That's like holy ground, the gate of heaven. And when it gets, they believe that it would be stricken by a flood when it's time to replace the empire. And it's just got stricken by a flood. And so that's why China is going through great lengths to hide this. It's not on the news media there, except for just a couple, little videos on rescues that are staged. They're all PR. And that, you see even that news article, the one I found, was like, oh, 20 people. Yeah, it's way more than that. Way, way, way more, maybe thousands. So, it's all made up. That's what they do over there is they hide everything. Going to McDonald's before the economy is over. Okay, Newspeak. So inconvenient. Yeah, Jennifer Zing. Yeah, oh, she had videos on floods. Yeah, she's a good one. She's a good one. I may get her on this channel here. she said she'd come on. I just haven't followed up with that. I got to follow up with her. Yeah, they grow their own food, but guess what? Their crops are at risk. That's the part of what I was going to get at here. This, among other things, they've been having flooding in China lately, but the northern part's been in a drought, so their crops are really down and out. So what you can expect is China will try to buy even, they've been trying to stockpile grain, but a lot of that stockpile, they're not good at storing grain. They buy it, but they're not good at storing it. It tends to rot. So get moldy. A lot of their stores are not good. So you can expect they're going to be in the global marketplace trying to buy up as much as they can, as quick as they can. And we don't have any limitations on exports of grain. Unlike India and some other places, we haven't. In fact, somebody can come in and just buy it all up before you know it. That's where we're at risk right here. And also the global prices are going up, and the market is set by the price in the market is set by the global spot market on a lot of these grains. So with what's going on with India, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, both are having problems getting stuff out. That's already affecting the price. This is going to be one more price pressure, and China will react to it. They will react early. They're going to buy up as much stuff as they can as early as they can. That means potentially shortages, maybe not here, but the prices you can expect to go way up. It depends on how much they buy and how early they get by it too. So these are all things to bear in mind when it comes to prices of food. I warn you guys that about this kind of thing, and it's coming to pass. But furthermore, that's why you need to go to the big box stores, get it where you can. I understand there's already been a run on rice. I haven't even been back to Sam's Club to see what's left or what the prices are, but I hear that the prices are up already, and a lot of places are limiting how much people can buy. And I don't know what the availability is because I haven't been. Maybe some of you can tell me in here. Maybe y'all been out shopping for this stuff. Read the grain crop. The USA is out. We are the lower grain crop. That's true. We are the lower production, and these production levels seem to be low everywhere. And then China's already having some crop problems. This is going to add to it. And then when you look at the lower amount that's going to be shipped from India, the fact we're not getting what we normally get from Ukraine and Russia, the fact that most of our fertilizers have been coming over from over there, and we're going to have a lot more issues with that. So you can expect some issues. Now the farmers around here ought to do good. I've noticed cotton crop fields have been growing cotton since I've been out here in this area for over 30 years. They've switched to corn, and I'm sure those guys are going to make a fortune this year. Maybe they could see the writing on the wall. But now farmers around here seem to be doing pretty well so far. I've seen some good looking crops around here. Now, I didn't see any winter wheat this year. I didn't see the soybeans I normally see. It's just corn and cotton. Corn and cotton is about all I'm seeing. On the Sam's on Friday, we'll check. Well, let me know. I'm curious to know what you guys find. Let me know, folks, what you run into. Do not worry. But our head in charge will give them the last bites of food as well. Oh yeah, he'll give it to them. That's right. And while he continues to let them cross our border as fast as they can come in, and bites them over even. And then they try to sue a state like Texas for trying to protect themselves. Yeah, what a crock. Anyway, what do you expect, guys? We're in a mess here. We're in a mess. And I just saw a poll that claimed that Biden would win hands down. Oh, wow. Even though he's the most unpopular president since Jimmy Carter. So I don't even know how he's doing any better than Jimmy Carter. Anyway, guys, we're in crazy times. We're in crazy times. Let me go back and do it share again. Crazy, crazy, crazy times. So yeah, check out these guys. The China show, break-in Beijing, destroyed by biblical floods, CCP panics. These guys, they're fluent speaking Chinese, both of them. Very fluent in Mandarin, probably Cantonese. They're very, very fluent. I think each of them have a Chinese wife, probably. I'm pretty sure that's the case. and they lived in China for 10 years. They left it because things got too oppressive. Now, they love the people there. I tell you, there's nothing wrong with the people other than, they've been, got the wool pulled over their eyes somewhat. But, I always tell you, there's good people, every country, every faith, religion, creed, color, from every shire, hamlet, and village. But the powers that be play us all against each other. And that's the kind of thing we're getting into today, because they're playing games. So you got to worry about this stuff. Hey, Colorado Jen, that means they plan to do this. They got plans. Well, look what they're doing. They're trying every way they can to trip up the T-man. Everything they can possibly do to keep him out. I did a video back about 3 years ago where I asked if he was a covert agent of the deep state, because he threw Julian Assange under the bus because he used to party with the Clintons. So, I asked, was he real? He had that bump stock deal. I said, was he real? And when he, kept Mr. Dr. Alchi in power for so long, I was really worried, what's this all about? But, after they have pummeled him so much, he might be hands down the best guy for the job, even if he has to rule from behind bars, because his main deal, he'll probably really want to do a deep cleaning, drain the swamp seriously this time. He didn't get to drain it last time, but he can only do it if he's got a Republican House and Senate, especially the House. But the House is Republican right now, so maybe we need a house cleaning up there, big time. So these three-letter agencies are out of control. So here we are. Look here. See, the Russian strike on Danube port took out 40,000 tons of grain there. So there's a lot of grain being hit. So that's not going to help the price of grain. Amount in the grand scheme of things, 40,000 tons really is just a drop in the bucket. But their inability to ship it also has got to be the main thing you got to factor into this. I Nicole Spencer growing amaranth this year as a grain. Hey, yeah, that's a grain. Sure enough, that's a good one. X Dragon 69. Let's see. Prayers for Cheryl and the family. There you go. That girl. Texas here has 20-pound. Rice is $9.98. Hey, there you go. It's like you got a deal there compared to what other people are going to be having. Anyway, Russia blows up Black Sea ports hours after confirming peace talks with Turkey. Yeah, we'll have peace. Boom, boom. Kind of reminds me of aliens attack, Mars attacks, where the aliens are running around with these blasters saying, we come in, when they translate this, we come in peace. We come in peace. Don't run. We come in peace. Bang, bang, bang. We come in peace. Don't run. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Don't listen to what they say. See what they do. Anyway, if that wasn't enough, if this ain't enough, that's what's happening in this country, guys. Illinois governor has signed legislation to allow, let me just say undocumented. The algorithms here will eat me alive if I put it the way I want to say it. Aliens, non-citizens, as this article says. Guys, these people are living here illegally. Now, due to the administration and a lot of executive action, some of these guys got some kind of permits to work, even though they are living here outside the law. So if you're outside the law, you're breaking the law. And by being here in the circumstances, they're actually breaking the law. So how can a lawbreaker be a law enforcer? How can a lawbreaker be a law enforcer? And this is the guys who may be coming to arrest you. Oh yeah, what else can they do? Maybe join the National Guard, join the Blue Hats, work for the UN. Guys, I don't know. Where can this lead? This is not a pretty picture, but this is in Illinois. The same is true in Colorado. And of course, California. Nobody would think California would do this now, would it? Oh yeah, they probably led the way. Wasn't on the news that I saw, but Verizon, yeah, that story on the Chinese flood is not going to be on anything you're going to see in the major news media. It's not going to see it, but it's there. It's happening. Anyway, guys, it's happening. And, that may even put Xi Jinping under more pressure to move while he's got it to do with, especially if his economy is about to tank, because the people of a country will rally around their leader in a time of war. And that might be the same reason. Maybe our own administration would like to see a major war so they can make sure that the guy who wants to keep the deep state in power will be the chief puppet in chief. Anyway, so yeah, this is from Medvedev, when he was saying that, I think I mentioned this already, last Monday, when they were saying, hey, if Ukraine succeeds, Medvedev said, if Ukraine succeeds with a counteroffensive, we'll have to use nukes. That's what he said. So the whole idea that it couldn't go nuclear, I don't know, guys. Here's an article about the Belarusian helicopters invading Polish airspace. So, guys, all it takes is a slip up. What if they've got shot down? What if the Poles are paranoid? Belarus is paranoid. Russia's paranoid. You start getting all these military vehicles this close to each other, mistakes can happen. We could wind up in a war. A lot of wars have actually happened inadvertently. They weren't planned. They just happened, supposedly. That's what some people tell us. Again, all wars are banker wars, right? The bankers always win in the end. All right, guys. Now, this is where we still got some hope. Senate Republicans, the House Republicans, they're trying to make some changes. Like, don't shut down all our power plants until we got a better alternative. We got something else in place. We're talking about blackouts, brownouts already. This is just kind of illustrate. I'm not going to go all into the war because, like I said, it's pretty much at a stalemate. Russia has been trying to push into the north with a counter offensive, and Ukraine's been trying to push into the south around Bakhmut. And all they've taken is just a few square kilometers, nothing to really brag about after the last 2 months of that exercise. Well, they're both kind of bogged down right now. Russia's in a point of recruiting a lot more forces. So we'll see what happens with that. They claim from the Ukrainian side that they've not put their main forces into play yet either. So we'll see how that pans out. Ringregs, hey, you, it's almost Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. There you go. Yes, sir. Almost Christmas. Yeah, forgive me for having all this mess back here. Like I said, I am deep into my taxes, and I just don't have time to clear the table off like I would otherwise. All righty, guys. So I just got a lot of things in play. I'm struggling to get that done. I mean, struggling. I meant to had it all done already. And I'd hired some people to do some work for me on that stuff, and I'm having to redo it all. Anyway, guys. So, the Wagner Group made claims that, hey, they had a big hand in this overthrow in Niger. So this may be part of the global world war. Africa may be played into it already. Russia's trying to make big inroads there, and Russia's got some popularity there because the streets have people waving Russian flags. So it just tells you the United States has done a really poor job of working with other countries. Like I said, Blinken, our Secretary of State, is a Blinken failure. What in the world is he doing? And I think our State Department hasn't done us any good for a long time. Neither is the CIA. CIA is responsible for so-called law enforcement outside the United States, or intel. And all they've done is they've turned the world against us. So they've done a horrible job, and in my humble opinion. And so that's why you got 74 nations trying to join BRICS right now. One of this BRICS conference is coming up, guys. Now here's more hope. This is the organization that's had a big hand in the government funding, apparently, over to the WWIII lab. So I won't say any more than that on here. I don't want to excite the robots. But the House is doing some pushback. This is why you need to get involved with the Freedom Restoration Foundation. Go to my website, freedomrestorationfoundation.org, and look up how to contact your Congress critters and give them an earful. You can do that. and they will listen to some point, especially if we hear from enough people. They will listen. I've had major impact on legislation myself when I was chairman of the policy committee of the National Space Society. Major impact from a small organization. Anyway, here we go, guys. The big eco lie: solar panels produce 5 times more CO2 than previously thought. That's because of the whole supply chain that produces them. Now, once you got it in place, it's not making any CO2. But the whole process of getting it to you does. And China is using dirty coal to produce these, not the clean coal. They're using the dirty coal, guys. So I've already said this before. It's just another article coming out, just reinforcing what I've been telling you guys all along. So we're seeing this. It's what's happening. So we lost a few people, I think. Oh, we had more than that. So is it late on everybody? Yeah. So the lira, free Gonzalo lira. Now, who is that? I was just talking about the Italian money, the lira there at first there, Stacy. Alrighty, guys. Another thing, your solar arrays are very vulnerable. Hey, you know, I support having solar arrays for off-grid. You know, if you need them on your vehicles, off-grid, things like that. But, you know, you got to just bear in mind there's limitations to them. But in terms of being our baseload power system, yeah, we're just not ready for that yet. I mean, it's just not what's cracked up to be. It's not everything they're promising. You know, they're saying it's green, but it's not as green as what they tell us. So, and then again, look, they're still trying to crack down on your appliances, your washing machine, your air conditioner, your propane stove, your internal combustion engine. They want to take everything from you that doesn't use electricity. And I'm going to do another little ditty for my Swivelhead News channel soon. I've already wrote the poem I'm going to read on there. I just hadn't had the time to do it. Hey, but you know what? That's not all bad news. What about this? As we're on the verge of burning ourselves to a cinder, some people think we can live way, you know, hey, they're doing a lot. They've made a lot of discoveries about what causes a stage. And some people think we can go a long time. I don't know, guys. What do you think? But there is some hope that we might be able to live better, healthier for a little longer at least. You know, those of us that's knocking on 60s and 70s might appreciate, you know, a little more health, maybe a little bit longer to kick around. 20,000 years, I don't know, you'd probably get bored. Anyway, that's the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. Oh, the ITAR. Yeah, well, but it's not making any big breakthroughs yet. So now get this. Yeah, if you don't think that they're interested in coming after you, see this deep state, MSNBC. Yeah, I think they called them right here. Calls for a new Patriot Act against domestic terrorists. Of course, they're not talking about the sleeper cells here. They're not talking about those military aides Chinese who are coming here and they get their smoke poles and their nugs and they go to the nug range and start throwing kibbles down range. Nope, they don't even talk about that. They're talking about people who like the Betsy Ross flag, people who would quote Thomas Jefferson. All righty, guys, enough of all that. Let's look at earthquakes. Oh, we got a fresh one down here. Carlsbad, California, 3.0. That's a little further north than what we normally see up here. Western Montana. It's not the Juan de Fuca plate. Chewy Weather will tell you all about that one. Man, that plate has been rocking a lot lately. And some reason, this little vertex where they come together here has been one of the real active hot spots in that plate. And we got one on the San Andreas Fault here and one right close to it. Puerto Rico is always rocking. We've had a lot of earthquakes right here. That's not a bigger one. We can span out here a little bit. Of course, Alaska is Alaska, and there's always got earthquakes up there. Hawaii. I'm not seeing some of the bigger ones right now, but there's still a good number. Tanzania. No, it's not pronounced Tanzania. It's pronounced Tanzania by the locals. Tanzania. And of course, we have a good size one right here. 5.9. Panama. Panama. All right, one off Chile. Well, that's no surprise. Chile's had some of the biggest earthquakes. So hope this subduction, Cascadia subduction zone is not about to go. Cheery, what do you think about it? Tell us about it. I'm about to go through the chat room here in a minute. Anyway, guys, let's look at weather. They tell us the earth is boiling. That's what they're saying. They're not even talking global warming anymore. They're using the term boiling. That's what they're saying, boiling. Well, let's see, boiling is pretty darn hot. What, 210 degrees? The hottest thing on the map is Phoenix right now at 97. I don't know, guys. I'm not seeing anything that looks particularly roasting to me. Phoenix is always hot, though. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. All right, Arnold, let's have a look at Alberta. Edmonton, 62. Calgary, 66. High level, 59. Pretty normal little temperatures. Since Arizona's got the hot spot, listen. Denver is at 66.6. Flagstaff is 59. Yeah, they're cooking. Sholo, 66. It's right up in the foot of these mountains. Their Snowflake is 71. Sedona, 73. We got in here from Arizona. We always got somebody from Arizona in here. Raising your rear end off in Maine. Cold week. How can you be cold? You're supposed to be bowling. They're telling us we're bowling. Look, Los Angeles is bowling at 68. San Diego's only 70. 97, well, that's way out in the desert, though. Bakersfield is 82. San Jose, 61. Yeah, they're boiling. Monterrey, Mexico, 80. I got a friend down there who would love to come to the United States, but she will only do it legally. So good luck with that. We got all kind of things against you coming across legally, but if you want to do it illegally, the door is wide open. Some people don't look. We got some good storms right here in the center of the country, Missouri, Illinois. These kind of storms this late, they could really pick up tomorrow when they travel. Well, let's go up here and look at Maine. Wow, it's in 50s. You are boiling. Holton, 53. Caribou, 52. Edmondson, 52. Portland, 59. It's in the 50s. You got anybody here from England tonight? We get people from England here a lot. Let's see what it is over in England. Every time I've looked over there, it's been really cool. Oh, look, they tell us all the ice is melted in Greenland, but it looks like it's snowing. It was snowing there last time. It's summertime. How's that? It's supposed to be boiling. It's all melting, right? I don't know, guys. It's a lot of 50s in England. London's 59, Hull 57, Ireland 55 in Dublin, Scotland 55 in Glasgow, Inverness is 55. A little warmer in Europe, it's all 60s. Wow, 59 here in Clermont Ferrand, I guess. I don't know how you say that, how the French would pronounce that. They got a different way of pronouncing everything. Hey, Chewy Weather, born to be wild. Salute to you, Chewy Weather. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the super chat. It's great mowing too. Oh, you see that mowing, breezy, no bugs. You know, that's cool. Now, looking Chico is sitting at 66. But look, it's warmer in Moscow, 73. Putin sitting at 73. Kyiv is only 68. It's warmer in Moscow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's all those drones are shooting over there. See what it is in Huntsville. It's cool outside. It's warmer. 77. 77 in Hunts Patch, Alabama. 93 in Dallas. Now, that's kind of warm. Oklahoma City's 88. You got anybody in here? Hey, Granny. So check Utah out. 64 in Slick, Salt Lake City. That's how the airport is built, is SLC. So I always just call it Slick. Provo, 64. Always makes me think of a dog bug. Junction, 59. Cedar City, 62. Ogden. That's where ATK's got their plant up there. Just, well, they got plants around Ogden. Most of their plants, the big rocket plants up here, it's farther north. A little drive where the main plant is. Promontory. That's what they call the area. It's way up here. But I used to stay in Ogden when I go to Utah. It's about I think about an hour's drive. It seemed like to get on up to the rocket plant. There were no good hotels anywhere near it though. All right, let's go to Australia. It's wintertime down there. Of course, northern Australia is nearly tropical. WWIII, however you say that's always in the 80s, 86. It's always about the same temperature right here. Of course, they got the ocean all around the buffer. Sydney, 64. Melbourne, 62. Hey, England's colder than you guys. Hobart, 59. Maine's colder than Hobart. Christchurch, 46. Okay, now New Zealand's a little colder. Got the 40s in New Zealand, except up in Auckland. That's the 40s. Got a little snow right there. So if you go into the mountains, I know it's going to be colder in the mountains. We got Scooby Snacks with us tonight. Iggy Cotton, 70, and Indianapolis. Okay, that sounds nice. We got 35 right here, just outside the snow zone. You got some beautiful mountains there in New Zealand. That's where they did Lord of the Rings movie, just because of the scenic background. Wow, guys, a lot of snow around Antarctica down there. So it was wintertime there. Lord, Lordy, something else I just want to look at. Don't forget. Oh yeah, let's go to Fort Greely, Delta Junction. Fairbanks is 71. Wow, they're colder in Maine than Fairbanks there new days. Delta Junction, 68. Anchorage, 62. We got a few people. Meg Rising, where you at? Up here. Homer, 57. Kodiak Island, 55. Valdez, 57. Nome, 59. North to Alaska, north the Russia zone. Sam looked at me with his gold in his hand. All right, Barrow, 39 degrees. All right, now there's your cool spot. Barrow. Don't even need air conditioning there. All right. Dawson City, 62. Yukon Territory, Northwest Territories up here, 66. For the rivers are wide and the nuggets they're finding. North to Alaska, north the Russia zone. Way up north. We got that typhoon right there. That's what's caused a lot of the flooding. Yeah, now it's in some of the Japanese islands here. Imagine Okinawa's getting hit pretty good. Keeps the goons dig out of my electric blanket. Uh-oh. They're gonna dig out your electric blanket. Wow. It's summertime. The world is boiling. How could you be using an electric blankie in the middle of the summertime? Way up north. Anyway, let's look at space weather. Let's have a look at the sun. She's chock full of spots. That's a big one there. 3380. Fortunately, it's heading around the other side of the sun. Well, we got something coming here. What is that? Way up north. Look at asteroids. No asteroids that we know of coming between the Earth and the Moon before the end of September. Don't mean one won't, but there's none that we know of. We're always discovering new ones. Most of these pink ones here are recent discoveries. Yeah, buddy. And the biggest one, let's see what the biggest one is that's out there. This one right here, over half a kilometer, 571 meters. Fortunately, it's missing us by a long distance, almost 16 times the distance between the Earth and Moon, 15.9. So I don't think it's going to hit us. Look at the auroras, guys. Not too intense right now. Understand we got a coronal mass ejection heading right at us, but it don't look like it's going to be a real strong one. There's no major warnings about, well, there's a geomagnetic storm watch here, but G1, 4th to 5th of August, when one or more faint semis are expected to hit Earth's magnetosphere. Yeah, so you might get some good aurora out of that, the 4th to the 5th. It's a couple days away. The Perseid meteor shower is expected to be bigger this time, so you might want to go out and have a look at that. We up north. All right, guys, enough of all that. Anyway, there they are. That's all the news that is news from across the nation. That's what they said in the song, The Streak, right? That's all the news that is news from across the nation. All right, guys, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat room. What have I been missing here? I've been doing spot checks. Oops, it's hanging up on me. Take my laptop here in front so I can kind of peruse through it. It's actually kind of hot in the house here. My house, because it's got insulation, it's got this delayed effect in the morning and right through noon. It stays cool, but late in the afternoon it heats up. It's a delayed effect because of the insulation. Born to be wild. There we go, Chewy. All right. So, my nephew can't type tonight. Okay, drops. Or was changing rapidly. You're right, Jack, Jake, or Jake, Jack, however J-A-K is pronounced. Bluefoot Homestead. Well, that's a good name. It's NYC flooded. Well, I don't know anything about New York City right now. It didn't look like it. Go back and look at the weather thing again. I'd be in China magnet fishing right now. You ain't gonna tell them what you get with magnets right now in China. I'd love to go to China. After all the videos I've done, I might never see the light of day if I go over there. I might just disappear. Seen that dam break, wipes out towns. Which dam is that? Drops. Yeah, if they take out the Three Gorges Dam, that could take out 40 million Chinese. So I said, if I was president, I'd call it Xi Jinping and say, hey, I got a WWIII warhead here on a Tomahawk cruise missile. It's got Three Gorges Dam written across it. I'd tell them that if you pop any of these cyber attacks, take out my software, our ability to command and control here. If you open up your sleeper cells, or if anything gets out of these bio labs, you're in trouble. Say bye-bye Three Gorges. Tokyo would flood out without their massive systems of sewers and drains. Well, you're right. That's one of the problems China has. Their sewers and drains are not effective. Most of the cities there just don't have good drainage at all. It's traditional Mayo. Ming, says Dave. Yeah, Emperor Ming. If you read the Bible, you know it's all part of the greater plan. Yeah, in the end, we win. The question is how do we, it's getting through everything we got to get through in the meantime. We got to get through this, guys. Face plants are up everywhere and getting worse. Yeah. Hey, we got another chat. Let me go down the bottom and see who this is. Michelle Young. Thank you, Michelle. Salute to you. Michelle's a good supporter here. She likes to give us super chats. I appreciate it. Colorado Jan mails me super chats, by the way. So even though you don't see her chatting in the room, she's there with us. All righty. Go back up again. Try that in a small town. There you go. That's a good song. You'll appreciate that song. Y'all got to check out my Swivelhead News channel. I'll be doing I've already written what I'm going to put on there. There it is. Elites Can't Win. That's the name of it. Yeah. That'll be the next thing I put on Swivelhead News. So Coleman stoves are black market only. What? Oh my gosh. Glad I got mine and plenty of gas to go in with them. Got a whole bunch of those little gas bottles. Drops as well. I'm in a small town. Chewy, I was expecting something bigger, but I was happy with the 4.0 we got yesterday. Yeah, Chewy gives me earthquake warnings and weather forecasts. We don't have Jesse in here tonight, do we? Where's Jesse? Maybe we're too late for Jesse tonight. How many we got? 165 still. Crossing the plains headed towards the Minuteman silos of Black Hillside. Brian, what are you talking about? Tell us more. Let's see. Oops, I missed something. I found out my boy is highly allergic to pinto beans. Well, sorry, that's rough. That's rough. 450 AD, that was a bad year. 535 was supposed to be the worst year, right? Sure, Martin, I respect you, Greg. The time you put in for us is unbelievable. I need a hug and a kiss on the forehead from you that will make my day. Okay, Cheryl. Hey, I'm always up for a hug, a kiss on the forehead. Makes a lot of people feel better. All right. Listen to Green Greg in the dark sky. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I used to do a lot of videos. I go out and would listen to the frogs. I have to get back that one day. We have to do it on another channel. It'd probably kill my algorithms over here. Tracy says it's hot and dry in Arizona. Well, coming into monsoon season, I hope you'll get some rain. Arnold Smith, check out the man named Kirk Sorensen. He was with NASA and worked in Huntsville, Alabama, same place where Greg worked. I didn't even know all the people in my own company there. There's plenty of folks I don't know, but there's also plenty I do. It was storming and raining here. Pretty good evening. Okay, that's good to know, Colorado Jan. So you had some good rain. It was, all right, no bugs. Let's see. Cheryl Martin, I'm addicted to pinto beans. I hear you. Hey, I love black-eyed peas and cornbread. Guys, that's some good eating. I don't think you're ever going to go to a fancy restaurant and get anything that compares to black-eyed peas and cornbread, or even a good Mater sandwich, as if it's vine-ripened tomato. It's been cooler than normal here in Virginia. Managed 90 one day. How can it be? You're supposed to be bowling. Yeah, this is actually, you know, what we've seen here is mid-90s. 85 and lost wages. Okay, Angel. That's not so bad for there. Low in the 70s and 80s during the day. In Maryland, okay. That's not bad. That's pretty cool. Anchorage. Okay, Meg Rising. Kesseloff, I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Serenity Asylum Acres. That's a nice name. Humidity is oppressive. We got a lot of humidity. Arkansas. Hey, Michelle. That's good. What's the temp on the moon right now? Well, the sunlit side of the moon can be up to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. the shaded side of the moon, the side that's not facing the sun, could be 250 degrees below. The more moderate areas on the moon are the polar regions. That's why they're interested in going. And plus, they're discovering there's a lot of water in the permanently shadowed craters in the polar regions. And that's something we're gonna need up there, and maybe a lot of other volatiles. No news is good news. That's right, Angel Lawrence. April Perum. I got a niece named April Pelham. Very close. No, April. Anyway, that's actually Pale. April Pale. Sun looks like it got a bellyache. Chewy, when we have weather going on during incoming solar events, the radiation enhances some of the storms. I can believe that. Well insulated, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, stays 54 without heat. Well, that drops. You got to get a place. You got a lot of thermal mass or just insulation. The only thing New York was flooded with was illegals. And you got that right. They got a lot of them there. Elton John just released a new song. Did he really? Yeah, it sounds like his number. 420 all day. Bodies. Wait, not bodies. Bolides, not boldest. A lot of changes, my word. How you doing there, 420? C. Shelley, how you doing, C. Shelley? I want to watch the boldest in 2025, forget 20,000 years. Sorry, X Dragon, I was on letting you know the distance. Okay. Scroll back up. I think I scrolled down too fast at once there. Hey, Big Worm, I like Chinese people too. It's not the people that's the problem anywhere in the world. It's the governments and organizations that pit us against each other. They play with people's heads. They get ideas worming into people's heads and turn us all against each other. So there's more intense but sparse. Okay, drops. Thank you, X Dragon. Yeah, I'm glad when I get in and spend a little time with you guys. There's Zippy, listening from Australia. What do you have, Australia in the house? Very good. Iggy Cotton, Psalms 91 will get you through. There you go. Canadian building standards require R20 insulation in the walls, R40 in the ceilings. That's a lot of insulation. You need it. Stay busy all the time, but with smile and invite a friend. There you go, X Dragon. Larry Schulte, I hope I'm saying it right. Anyone heard of sewer oil? Yeah, I saw a thing on that, an article suggesting they're actually using sewer oil in the restaurants in China. Yeah. Brandon, it's a good thing you're a mile up. You can't handle the heat. Good thing you got some elevation. Of course, Utah's a good place to be if you can't handle the heat. Folks in a hurry on it. Dragon. Let's see. Wilbur Cookmeyer. Salute Senior GG. Cheers via Point Sal, Central Coast, California. Living on the edge of the Cascadia subduction zone up in the Great White Breeding Grounds. This place is extruding. Well, hope you're at some good elevation. Not right on the coast. Cascadia, you can be well above any waves coming out of that Cascadia subduction zone. Granddaughter brought me a tomatoes for a sandwich. That sounds good, Granny. Good big sun-ripened tomatoes. Kyle Power, Spring, Texas. Hey, good to see somebody from Spring, Texas. I got my grandkids there. in Spring, Texas. Those photographs from this cup were all taken in Spring, Texas, by the way. Every photograph on that cup. Mind if I could use some mugwort tea time. Yeah, they want to take your mugwort from you. What is sewer oil? That's the stuff that they drain it out from the restaurants. It gets in the streets, and they just go back and dip it back up. Dip it back up. Nasty stuff. Cheryl, hey everybody, stop what you're doing and hit the thumbs up. Well, thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. How many people got? 164 in the room, only 145 thumbs up. We had 200 people in the room there for a little bit, so yeah, we're shy on thumbs up. So I could really use the help because algorithms are, a lot of you guys don't get notifications the way you should. You should check back my channel frequently to see what my latest videos are. Anyway, yeah, I got a few videos that you might want to watch. My home built in 1909. Wow, back in 1800s. I grew up in a house that was built in 1800s. Anyway, it was an old country house that had been remodeled a lot. At one time, it had a porch all the way around it. When I got remodeled, they tore that off. My favorite snack for summer night, watermelon. There you go, with cream and honey. Hey, Zen Gemmin. Hey, I just like plain old watermelon. When I grew up, everybody used to like to put salt on them. I said, yeah, I like them just plain. Lately, the lives didn't show up. Oh, live videos. Well, I haven't been live in a couple of days. Yeah, the algorithm has no rhythm. You're exactly right. Why? We've been building homes with 2x6 studs. There you go. That'll give you some room for some insulation. And that's sturdy. A 2x6 is good and sturdy. Yeah. Anywho, that's the way to build them. All righty. Well, guys, Angel Lawrence, Spring Legs, a thumbs up when I came into the chat. Well, thank you, Angel. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, guys, probably not going to go a whole lot longer. Hey, yes, Lee. I got some good news. Randy Bly, he used to come in our chat room all the time. I told you he was having some major health issues. I had a little chat with Susan, his wife. She's the one that made me my blue bottle here, blue bottle bunny farm. So I got all shoved aside so I can work my taxes here. She told me he's doing a lot better. We've been praying for him. I told her we've been praying for him and we'll keep praying for him. So like I said, we're family. We're not a religious channel, but family prays for family. Watermelon is good any way you can get it. There you go, X Dragon. Amen to that. I love watermelon. Welcome, Booger Town. That's my people from all over town. So if you like bargains, you'll love Booger Town, USA. How you doing, Matterman? Anyway, yeehaw. Yeah, watermelon's great stuff. So, hey, I eat plenty of fried chicken and watermelon. Anywho, guys, so let's see here. Hey, Black Jack Stalks. Blackjack Stocks. That's a good one. Anyway, so what we need to do is pray for some people here. Randy Bly, of course, Chewy Weather. He got injured real bad and had to have a few pins and things stuck in him. I think he just got the pins out. But he's going to be kind of not up and about too much the next couple of days as he heals. And New Days is going in for surgery. Just a few days. So we really need to pray. You can't eat watermelon? Oh no. He's sorry, my dad's stomach, he couldn't eat it. Wilbur Kootmeyer says, I'm on the beach and this place is extruding out of the ground more and more every year. Oh, that's kind of concerning now, Wilbur. I don't know if you want to be on the beach there. You're talking about Oregon or Washington State. You're up in Washington State. Cascadia Subduction Zone might get you. Daniel Billings, love your platform. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. So, folks, like I say, we need to say a few prayers. Of course, we always pray for Greenland and especially granddaughter Kaylee. We like to pray for anybody that we can think of that needs a prayer, basically. Please pray for my vet who is struggling, very withdrawn. Okay. Congress talking about them alien critters. Yeah, they're critters. That's the best way to put them. It's one set of critters talking about another set of critters. Congress critters talking about whatever those things are. Critter to critter. They probably ought to know each other. By the way, my folks are Mormons, so we're preppers. Yeah, well, that is a good thing about the Mormons. At least they believe in keeping a year's supply of food at all times. Yeah, we should all take heed and follow that kind of a philosophy. Trying to keep ribs apart. Oh Lord. All right, guys. So anybody else we need to pray for tonight? I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of people out right now. Yeah, we'll definitely say some prayers for you today. She's about to go under the knife. It's not a trivial thing she's going through. She wants to tell you what it is. I'll leave it to her. But that the critters are all together. Yeah, they're all critters, all right. You know what I say about politics? Politics is many ticks. Poly, ticks, many ticks. Bloodsuckers. Fits perfect, right? Anyway, man, I left the religion, but I still learned. Okay. So, guys, well, this is not a religious channel. I'm not here to favor any faith, but at least in the context of this channel, because I try to make this channel available to anybody who's interested in gardening, worming, or prepping. So I'm not trying to dissuade people from wanting to follow those endeavors. But, I do believe in the power of prayer. I do believe in the greater creator, but I'm not going to impose my beliefs here on you in context of this channel. Now, we might have some discussions one day, but, that's not what this channel is about. So I know some channels, they don't allow any discussion of anything that seems remotely resemble faith, but so what we'll do here is we're going to have, for those that are not faith, we can always have a moment of silence for those. If you don't resonate with praying, a moment of silence is golden. I'm not going to tell you how to pray, and I'm not going to lead you in a prayer because that would be religious. But we can still have a prayer. I'll pray silently according to your own faith, how you believe. You ain't going to lose no viewers from it. It's supposed to be a witness. Well, I say enough. I do say things for the faith, but I'm careful about it. I just don't want to run anybody off. So we want people to get prepped. So prayers for everybody that needs it. There you go. And we need to pray for this world that we don't get into a nuclear war. As long as we all love, trust, and respect each other, there you go, God and each other. There you go. Like I said, I do believe in a greater creator. Anyway, Jay Norton, did the power grid ever get handed off to Dragon Country? Well, there's two things to bear in mind. One, they got software. Apparently, all our critical subsystems have their software, bug software, even the Defense Department. All the Defense Department computers have been found to have been hacked. Chinese software is everywhere. That's the scary thing. It's not good. Moreover, we get some of our big transformers from China, and apparently there's little black boxes in it. It's got apparently cutoff switches built in. Don't even have to be hacked. All you gotta do is call them up. So we are in a bad situation. You combine that with the prospects for all those sleeper cells and what they can do. You combine that with a potential prospect for an EMP. They wouldn't have to do a nuclear war on us to lay us down flat, guys. They've been missing our hugs. There you go. All right, Cheryl. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Well, I've just been so busy. Prayers for Randy. Amen to that. World is falling fast. It is. That don't mean that, you know, if we stick together, we got better chances to get through this, guys. That's why I want everybody to join the survivaltribenetwork.com and build your tribes. And you need a way to barter and trade when the CBDC comes out. And this goes away in paper form. And once you do everything electronically, it'll be $1, but it won't be you won't have it in your pocket or wallet. They don't want to do away with these. That's why you want something like this. You can get these. Check my link to Defy the Grid. You get those. Use the code Green Gregs. It's like my channel name, all jammed together. GREEN, Jerry GS, and you get 1% off. And the OneNotes is only like $3 some change. It's 1,000th of a troy ounce of gold. This is not backed by gold, it is gold. So that's the cool thing about it. And like Coda said, he's exchanging these for a value of $4. So folks, Christine Gold, what seed should I purchase for fall crop in mid-Atlantic area? Well, I haven't lived in mid-Atlantic, so that's a good question for New Days. She's actually been in New Jersey some good time. So New Days might be the best one to tell you that. She's quite an avid gardener. Thank you, New Days, for sharing that. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, man. Yeah, some of my receipts in here are from Ace. Lowe's, tons of receipts from Lowe's. Silver bars, that's good. Now, silver, especially in the coins, is easier to transact. If you need to go to the grocery store and or trade for a, dozen eggs somewhere, it's hard to do that with a big bar of gold. But you can with this, because this is right level, right denomination. That's what I like about these. These are fungible, they're spendable, they're a lot more convenient form because it's in such a minute amount, and you can put it in your wallet. And they got bills nominated all up to 50. So that's why I like those. So check it out. And New Days did put the link in here. CBDC and kiss your, there you go. Well, they're going to try to force everybody into CBDCs, and they want to get rid of your cash. And that's why you need something to barter with. And having something that's convenient like this is real easy to do that with. There's people already bartering in those things. They're using them as currency. So no heroes, no leaders, no artists, no gods. I'm working. I'm a worker. You're a worker. Would you like to be a worker too, Dr. Pepper? All right, guys, let's go and have our little prayer. Then we'll see where everybody's from. We garden. Garden, guys. Garden. I've said it a million times, and that's what this channel started out to be. It was a gardening channel at first. Somebody discovered I ran a couple of power grid defense conferences. That's my podium placard. And so I did a little power grid defense video, and suddenly a ton of people watched that, and I have more preppers in my channel than anything else. Well, I've always been a prepper, even before they called it prepping. So I said, okay, but what I discovered is that when I do, there you go, seed planting calendar. There you go. There's what you need for the Mid-Atlantic. Guys, you can find those online too. There's still stuff you can plant. Jason Neighbors over at Green Country Agroforestry, I believe is his name of this channel. He did a video today. Check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. He puts out a lot of good information. He's talking about stuff he's planting right now. And peas. Yeah, you can plant peas right now. And you can plant, I think it's still not too late in most places to plant your winter squash. You can definitely plant the peas. He's planting corn, because corn can still make within 90 days. If you've got 90 days left in growing season, you can still do corn. And you can do the squash to grow up the corn. So those are all things to consider, guys. You can always do greens even late. Of course, I plant garlic in like November. I lost the video. It's totally frozen. What's happening? I can still, you might want to rewind and just watch from the beginning. Arsenal Rain, how you doing? Eating the bugs. Oh, Lord. Flower gardens are good. Yeah, depend on your grow zone. That's exactly it. You got to go by your grow zone. But it's not too late to plant greens anywhere. In fact, it's a little early for greens here. So we plant that stuff a little bit later. Guys, most people think a garden's just for summer. You can do a spring garden, a summer garden, and a fall garden. You can get about 3 crops out of your garden at least. Some people get a lot more than that. You can do succession planting where you plant stuff to be harvested at different times. There's a lot of things you can do to keep that harvest coming in. So pay attention to all that. Use the raised beds. Check out my older videos where I talk about gardening a lot. And my videos are about how to do it without having to go to the store and get anything. That's what my videos are all about. That's why I do the worm farming. I'm probably going to start selling worms in a couple of weeks, guys. Lettuce good for fall. Radishes, amen. Radishes, definitely radishes. I love it. Cabbage, turnips, parsnips, onions. Yeah, I'm not set out my onions yet. Garlic, I'm still a long way from planting garlic. I can the comments, but your screen's froze. Oh no. Learn about lovage. Okay. Yeah, I hear about lovage. I'm not familiar with lovage though. That's something I guess I need to. Rains over the winter. Yeah. Where you at, X-Dragon? Okay, let's do the prayer and we'll ask everybody where they're from. Just hang on. The Saxon of Riverstone, tomatoes and apples here. There you go. Hey, I got grapes making out there, wild grapes. I had a huge fig tree, but that last winter was too cold. It killed it down, but it's sprouting back up fast. It's got a huge root system, so that thing is coming back in a hurry. That fig tree came from Puerto Rico, by the way. There's a bush. And my friend had it up by Lake, Lake in Tennessee. Lake, I can't think of the name of the lake right now. She had it up there and it wasn't doing too good. It came down here and it grew like crazy. All right. So, Greg has a video. Yeah, I got several videos on microgreens. Quite a few. How to grow stuff in your house. You can grow it year round. You can grow microgreens in your house year round. I grow microgreens year round. I got a trailer here to grow in. I used to grow them in my living room. That's where I was growing when I started the videos. And I've shown a little bit from my trailer, but I've not done a lot of video on it. Because when I do a video on gardening now, it tanks. It's like I can't do gardening videos on this channel. Hey, y'all tell me this. Should I take all my videos from gardening and worm farming and repost them on a brand new channel? I thought about taking all the prepping videos and putting them on Swivelhead News, but I got so much momentum here with the prepping following that I think I'd lose my momentum if I did that. So I think I'm just going to concentrate and put the more political stuff over there on Swivelhead News. And I might have to do a separate channel for gardening. Gardening is evergreen. And I would like to have a channel that's just gardening oriented. But when I put gardening videos on here, they tank. And when you put videos on consistently, it tanks, it hurts the channel very significantly. So it's I will probably post a video on flatworms, hammerhead worms, and what to do about them. I filmed it like days and days ago. The only reason I didn't post it this morning was because I've done 3 videos in a row that didn't do so well, and I can really quash my algorithms by doing that. So decided to hold off on a little bit. There you go. There you go. Yeah, they're good for your health. Amen to that. Especially, listen, guys, everybody needs sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is what is really strong in broccoli. Broccoli microgreens is highly concentrated sulforaphane. That forms the glutathiones, which are essential to your immune system. And so many, just look up glutathiones. It's good for your health in so many ways. It is astounding. I got a buyer who buys like 2 complete trays of broccoli microgreens from me every week, and he eats them. He buys them year round. I grow it year round. He buys them year round. I'll take any seeds I can. I'm short on seeds and money for buying Kaylee's cancer meds. Yes, and for that reason, let's pray for. Again, it's time to go pray, and let's pray, of course, for Kaylee, for New Days, for Miss Mapley, who New Days have been looking after her. She's not going to be able to do that, which is getting her procedures done. Randy Bly, Chewy Weather. Let's pray for Chewy, guys. Billy, oh, well, I've been gone from Missouri since 1999. Wild edibles. I got videos on wild edibles, Arnold. I've done videos on wild edibles and wild medicinals. Of course, there's a lot of other sources for that material too. Check it out while you can before all this goes down. Learn that stuff. Go out and practice it, some guys. Even wild painkillers. I've covered a couple different types of wild painkillers. Everything from wild lettuce to willow. Anyway, guys, let's do a quick Lake Logan. That's the lake I was trying to think of a minute ago. That's where I got my fig bush, but that fig bush originated in Puerto Rico. All right, guys, let's say a quick prayer here. Planted spinach, cabbage, and carrot. Oh yeah, that's all good fall stuff. Amen. Good stuff there. All right, guys, let's say our prayer session here. Amen. All right, everyone, tell me where you're from. Tell us where you're from. Find peace. Amen to that. My sons don't go to war. That's a good one. I wasn't asleep. Yes, I was praying for no war. We need to pray that China don't take us down either. Big time. I want to send Greg's stuff. I want to send Greg's stuff to, or send me to. He just needs to go through Grumpy Monkey Soap site. What? Grumpy Monkey Soap. That's your wife's company there. All right, so we got Utah, Hillsboro, Oregon, west of Wokistan. West Wokistan. You watch my videos. Georgia. Naturita, Colorado. Okay. Dayton Beach. Oh, Preston, Dayton Beach. I might be not too far from you soon, working in Lake City some. Las Wages, Nevada. Yeah, people do lose their wages there. Saxon, yeah, I tell people they don't build all those big fancy casinos on the winnings of the patrons. The losings, and you believe me, they got money left put in their pocket after they build all those big casinos. Athens, Tennessee, the last American battle. Okay. Bibb County, Columbus, Ohio. So Columbus, Ohio, excuse me. Bibb, not the county. We have a Bibb County here in Alabama. Pardon me for that. Hope Putin has patience, just a little patience. That's right. We got lots to pray for. No kidding. West Central Texas, hey, ET. North Texas, Connecticut, Raymond, Spokane, Washington area. He drops. Prayers from Maryland. Okay, Christine. Columbia County, Florida. Hey, Dragon. Raleigh, North Carolina, but I took your advice and I'm finally getting my way from here. Good, good. That's too big of a city. Steve Irwin got scalp it. Pocahontas. Copperopolis, California. I said that right. Ontario, Canada. All right. Missouri. Net Ureta. Okay, Net Ureta. All right, good. All those firefighters' families who lost their life. Oh, yeah, definitely that. Definitely that. Real estate go broke before. Yeah, it can happen. That's a good one, Angel. Good not to be gambling. Hills of Kentucky. That's a good place to see, Shelley. He says howdy. Desmond's, Iowa. Rio Sol. Thank you, Greg, and good night, everyone. John Lung. How you doing, John? You've been quiet tonight. You couldn't find my house anyway. I messed up Google. There you go. Yeah, you don't want people to find you. Toronto. Hey, Joe Michaels. I gotta say, Toronto is the cleanest big city I've ever seen anywhere. But I haven't been there in a long time. But you used to see little old ladies go out in the dark alleys and they wouldn't think twice about it. Hope it's still peaceful there. But you don't want to be in a big city when the grid goes down. Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. That's a good place to be, Matterman. As long as you're a good distance from Chattanooga and all those nuke plants. All right. Pray for the ones who are flooding in the, Filipinos and China. Yeah, pray for the people. You're right, Ace Lee. The people there need some relief. Greg's a man, please buy some coffee. There you go. Can't read the whole thing because it's covered up in that heart icon until it scrolls up a little bit there, Stephen. Stephen Irwin, or cracky. All righty, folks. Appreciate that. We still got 165 in the room. So, folks, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. How long have we been in the room? 96 minutes, an hour and a half. Supplement coffee, okay. All righty, folks. So, thank you for being here. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. All you gave the thumbs up. All right, we got more thumbs up now. Appreciate that. Montreal, Quebec. Hey, how do you say that? Ogro, I can't even pronounce that girl. Ogbrun girl. I don't know. I can't say that. Pardon me for that. But I almost took a job in Saint Hubert, Quebec, with the Canadian Space Agency. I would have been a sub to him working on the special purpose dexterous manipulator. I used to work the robotic systems on the space station decades ago. I used to go up there to their, what back then was called SPAR. It became MD Robotics. I think that's somebody else down there. They got a big plant in Brampton, Ontario. It used to be in downtown Toronto. When I first started going there, it was in not downtown, but it was in Toronto, east of the airport. It was in Toronto. Then they moved it out to Brampton. Ozone Falls. Okay. Glad you caught me there, Granny. Go to bed. Thank you, Greg and mods. Amen to that. Yeah, keep praying for New Days, everyone. She's got that surgery. Pray that Chew Weather gets well soon. All right. So, used to live near Athens, Georgia. Okay. All righty, folks. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Just remember, like I always like to tell you, for one, always keep your eyes wide open, head on swivel. But as light, these two lights are as light dispels the dark, love dispels hate. Bright and shining love light in the world. Make a difference. Like Rex always says in his channel, be the change you want to see. Have a great weekend. I'm heading to work now. Oh, wow, WT. Have a good work day, work night, whatever it is. It'll be day in a little bit. All righty, folks. Again, thank you for watching. And with that, I'm going to